Hello and welcome to the TRiUNE Physics aka PhysicsBible. I'm your host, IP and today we are going to continue with a fascinating topic in physics, temperature and its measurement. This is episode 2 of temperature and measurement, and it is titled The Thermometer as a Measuring Instrument. Recall that in episode 1 we focused solely on the introduction to temperature measurement. We were able to define temperature and were able to connect temperature to the 7 fundamental quantities in physics. For better understanding, do watch that tutorial video so you can have a grasp of the introductory part. In this video, we'll delve into the basics of thermometer as a measuring instrument, including definition, key concepts, types of thermometer, and real-life applications. So let's dive right in. Recall from our previous episode, we defined temperature as the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It is also the measure of the average kinetic energy of a body. Since thermometer is an instrument, let's see the origin of measuring instrument. In Deuteronomy 25:14, thou, which is the body, the object that is constant in physics, shall not have in thine house the possession diverse measures, which is different units of measurement, e.g. degree centigrade, degree Fahrenheit, or absolute Kelvin, which is under temperature. But when you relate that to other quantities, mass in milligrams, in grams, in kilograms, and many more, or length in millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers, etc. These denotes diverse measures. In verse 15, but thou shalt have a perfect and just weight. Underline this, perfect and just weight. Perfect means internationally recognized and acceptable unit of measurement. This was the origin of SI unit. A perfect and just measure shall thou have, which is why in length we have meters. For mass, we have kilogram. For time, we have seconds. For temperature, we have absolute Kelvin, which is our case study for today. For amount of substance, we have mole. For electric current, we have ampere. And for luminous intensity, we have candela. So, you see that there is an important aspect of science that relies on the fundamental quantities and the units of measurement. And you've seen the origin and the source. But do we still have other smaller units or greater units of measurement when it comes to those quantities? Yes, which is why you must just know the importance of SI units. In physics, without SI units after your final answer, it becomes useless. So join us when we shall be dropping our tutorial videos on fundamental quantities. It promises to be educative, interesting, and easy to memorize. Let's look at another concept of measuring instrument from the Bible. In Job 38:5, who, it means the body, who had laid the measures thereof. This was God asking Job questions about the earth. Who had laid the measures thereof? Who measured the earth? And by what instrument did such an individual measured the length, the mass, the size of the earth? Equal divisions by unit of measurement. If thou knowest, or who had stretched the line upon it, it means expansion. When you relate that to the thermometric liquid inside the thermometer. So the need for an SI unit is constant. It is for uniform measurement. In Proverbs 20:10, diverse weights, different weights, diverse measures, different unit of measurement. Other units aside the SI units of measurement. Both of them are alike abomination to the law. They are substandard. This is what the Bible is saying. So the importance of calibration and values. In Luke 16:6, and he said, 100 measures of oil, relating these to the equal divisions in both the degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, and absolute Kelvin scale thermometers. And he said unto him, take thy bill and sit down quickly and write 50, which becomes the midpoint of the thermometer reading. Recall the idea of accuracy. Also recall the idea of inaccuracy, exactness, appropriateness, unbalanced system of actions. Hence, to resolve these issues, accuracy has to be maintained with precision and quickly. This has led to the development of an instrument that is used for the measurement of temperature, and it is called the thermometer. Welcome as we delve deeply into thermometer. What is thermometer? By definition, if you are asked, our sense of touch can give us a general or comparative impression of the degree of hotness or coldness of a body, but it cannot give us a precise value of the temperature of the body. Let's look at that in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 11. Again, if two bodies lie together, which is the lie together means to touch or to contact from one body to another, then they have heat, which is a measure of the total internal energy of a body. But how can one be warm alone? A single body can't experience a rise or a transfer of heat without an influence. So in order to measure temperature accurately, a device called thermometer is used. So a thermometer uses any physical property of a substance which varies in a known way with temperature and is easily measured as a means of gauging temperature. The substance whose physical property is so used is known as thermometric substance. Let's look at that in James 1:9. Let the brother, which is the body, the thermometric substance of low degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, rejoice in that he is exalted, which is the rise in temperature value. These are constant. So what is thermometer? By definition, a thermometer, underline that, is a device with which the temperature of a body can be measured. Underline that, temperature of a body can be measured. That is, a thermometer is a measuring instrument used to measure a specific fundamental quantity called temperature. From that definition, what are the triune components or the key words? Number one, the device, which is known as the thermometer. Number two, the body, temperature of a body, which can be in a solid form, liquid form, gas or plasma. Then we have the function, which is temperature measurement, which has to do with the gauging process. So let's look at that from the Bible. The origin and the ultimate thermometer, Revelations 3:14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, the body. These things said the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. This is God himself, Jesus Christ. And he was one that spoke, so he became the divine thermometer. He began in verse 15 by saying, I, which is the divine thermometer. But recall, we are still defining temperature. Know thy works. I know thy works. A thermometer is meant to know the temperature value of a substance. So here, the divine thermometer attested to that. I know thy works, which is the function of a thermometer to read accurately the temperature values of a body, which is why he, the Christ, has accurately read the temperature value of the angel of the church in Laodicean, which is the body. That thou, which is the body, art neither cold nor hot, which is the degree, which is the measure of coldness or hotness of a body. Neither cold nor hot, definition of temperature. I, the divine thermometer, would that thou, which is the body, wert cold or hot. He, defining temperature in verse 16. So then, because thou, the body, art lukewarm, which is the accurate temperature measurement value at this time, and neither cold nor hot, invalid temperature value, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So, the divine thermometer, which is the Christ, measured accurately the temperature value of the angel of the church, and he came up with a value, and the value was lukewarm. If you relate that to degrees Celsius, it gives you 50 degrees Celsius. What are the triune components of that definition? The keywords from the Bible there. We have the device, which is the thermometer, which is Jesus Christ himself, the divine thermometer. The body experiencing temperature change is the angel of the church in Laodicea, which is the men today. The number three, the function to measure. The result was lukewarmness. So to measure temperature, we would need substance that are in the form of liquid enclosed in a solid transparent container. Hence, direct temperature measurements are based on any of the easily measurable properties of matter that change uniformly with temperature, which is hotness or coldness of the body. James 1:9. Let the brother, the thermometric substance of low degree, zero level, which is ice point, rejoice in that he, the thermometric substance, is exalted, rise into the steam point. You can see that. Join us for episode 3 when we shall delve deeply into the thermometric substance. I've given you a hint from James chapter 1 verse 9. So in John 19:34, but one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side. Who is this? The ultimate thermometer, the divine thermometer. And the soldiers pierced his side, which is the glass casing being broken or perforated when it comes to a thermometer, and forthwith came there out blood, mercury, and water, ethanol by assumption. This is the idea of the thermometric substance. Jesus Christ himself is the ultimate thermometer. And watch out for episode 3. So what are the factors that physicists consider before naming the different types of thermometer, as we begin to delve into the types of thermometer in physics? Let me remind you that types of thermometers are determined based on several factors. These include the thermometric liquid. Number 2, sensing element in it. Number 3, the measuring range. Number 4, the accuracy and precision. Number 5, the response time. Number 6, environmental conditions. Number 7, the application. Number 8, the technology to be applied. Number 9, the size and portability. And number 10, the cost and budget. These are factors that one can consider before categorizing thermometers into different types or various types. So now, what are the types of thermometer? Number 1, we have liquid in glass thermometer. Number 2, the gas thermometers. Number 3, resistance thermometer. Number 4, thermocouple. Number 5, bimetallic thermometer. Number 6, we have pyrometer, and many more. But wait a second, what would you then call divine thermometer, aka Jesus Christ himself? Is it Messiah thermometer? No. Is it Jesus the thermometer? Not really, because in John chapter 19 verse 34, but one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out what? Blood and water. I think we should name it blood and water thermometer. Cheers if you got it. Now let's pick the first, the expansion of a fixed mass of liquid, as in the mercury in glass thermometer. Remember that liquid in glass thermometer is essentially a narrow capillary tube enclosed in a glass rod. The capillary tube is of a uniform bulb, that is uniform calibrations, which opens to a larger glass bulb that contains the thermometric liquid, which is the mercury in glass thermometer or alcohol in glass thermometer. The level of the liquid rises, which can be mercury or ethanol, and falls in the tube with changes in temperature. Do you get this? So the liquid, which is either mercury or ethanol, is usually used as a thermometric liquid or substance. It measures temperature by measuring the change in volume of the liquid, which causes its rise and fall. If you see this, you can relate this to the change in length. The change in length, the point of origin and destination. So the difference gives you distance. So you can see that being manifested here as a rise in temperature. The glass rod is graduated so that the level of the liquid is read directly at the temperature is being measured. It is the bulb that is brought in contact with the body whose temperature is being measured. Since it contains the liquid which is of a constant fixed mass expands when the temperature is increased and contrasts when the temperature falls. I hope you get this part. So sensitivity of a liquid in glass thermometer. For a liquid in glass thermometer to be highly sensitive, it must have the following. Number 1, the bulb must be made of thin glass so that it can conduct heat quickly and assume the heat of the surrounding quickly. You can see that. The number 2, the capillary tube, which is the glass rod now that is enclosing the thermometric liquid, must be very narrow and of uniform calibrations, so that small changes in temperature can lead to large changes in length of the liquid. This is the idea of motion, distance, or change in distance. The thermometric liquid should have high expansivity. That is number 3. Take note of these. Let's look at that in John chapter 19 verse 34. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came out blood and water. This denotes mercury or ethanol as thermometric liquid inside the divine thermometer. Jesus Christ himself, his body is the enclosing glass or the protective glass, equally calibrated. I could see his manifestation in Revelation chapter 3. Number 2, type of thermometer. We have the change in pressure of fixed volume of gas, as in constant volume gas thermometer, which is pressure is equal to force over area. If you look at John 14:20, thou prevailest forever against him, and he passes out, changes his countenance, and sendeth him away. The change in pressure of a fixed volume of gas, as in constant volume gas thermometer, the pressure, thou prevailest, thou changest his countenance. So this gives you an idea of the change in pressure. In Daniel 7:28, hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. I kept the matter in my heart. I still retain the constant value or calibrations of measurement. So you can see the change in pressure of a fixed volume of gas, as in a constant volume gas thermometer. Number 3, the change of electromotive force with temperature, as in the thermocouple, which is heat couple. The electromotive force, which is EMF of an electrical source of energy, is measured in volts and is the energy supplied by the per unit charge in driving the charge around a complete circuit. So EMF is work done over the quantity of charge. A thermoelectric device for measuring temperature, consisting of two wires of different metals connected at 2 points, a voltage being developed between the two junctions in proportion to the temperature difference. Let's look at that in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 11. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? This is thermocouple in action. I hope you get this. Two lie together, consisting of two wires of different metals connected at 2 points. The two lying together here is married male and female, different metals, opposite sex. Then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? I hope you understand this concept. Number 4, the change in the electrical resistance of a fine piece of wire, as in resistance thermometer. Resistance in physics refers to the opposition to the flow of electric current in a material or in a circuit. It is caused by the collisions of electrons with the ions in the material and can lead to the reduction in the flow of electric current. In Zechariah 3:1, and he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to do what? To resist him. You can see the change in the electrical resistance of a fine piece of wire, as in the resistance thermometer. Number 5, bimetallic strip. It acts on differential expansion of two dissimilar metals. It functions on differential expansion, the differences in expansion of two dissimilar unrelated metals. In Genesis 7:9, there went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God has commanded Noah. And what happened? The expansion for increase. They were two dissimilar metals, but there is an expansion by the process of bimetallic strip. Number 6, pyrometer. It is a kind of light emitted from a body at high temperature. Pyrometer is a device for measuring relatively high temperature, such as are encountered in furnaces. Most pyrometers work by measuring radiation from the body whose temperature is to be measured. Radiation devices have the advantage of not having to touch the metal being measured, since plasma is a burning fire and you can't touch it, or flaming fire. Hence, pyrometer can be used as a measuring instrument in that regard. In Daniel 3:25, and he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. Can you see this? And they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of Man. Can you see this? We say Christ is the divine thermometer. You can see him emerging in the midst of the burning furnace, and he was able to regulate the temperature level for the 3 Hebrew children, and then they could walk in a burning fire. I hope you get this. So, what are the working principles of thermometer? You can simply say thermometer function based on the principle of expansion or contraction of materials with temperature change. I hope you get this. Expansion is being considered, contraction is being considered when temperature or heat is being applied to a body. So summarily, as we round off our class for today, a thermometer is a device with which the temperature of a body can be measured. A thermometer is a measuring instrument used to measure a specific fundamental quantity called the temperature. And we're able to list the types of thermometer as liquid in glass thermometer, the gas thermometers, resistance thermometer, thermocouple, bimetallic strip, pyrometer, and many more. We're able to establish the fact that without a thermometer, there will not be accuracy and efficiency in temperature measurement. Furthermore, we said that the working principle principle of thermometer is based on expansion and contraction of materials with temperature change. And we connected that to Revelation chapter 3 verse 14 to 16, where we said that, and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things said the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. I, Jesus Christ himself, know thy works. He has established the temperature value, that thou art neither cold nor hot. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body, I would that thou wert cold or hot, i.e., the divine thermometer would have preferred that you were hot, the apex level, or cold, the lower fixed point. So then, because thou art lukewarm, which became the result obtained, and neither cold nor hot, which is temperature, I will spew thee out of my mouth. In Revelations 22:13, I am Alpha and Omega, which is the lower fixed point and the upper fixed point, the beginning and the ending, the constant rise in the thermometric liquid, the first and the last, the lower fixed point and the upper fixed point. And finally, we established that in John chapter 19 verse 34, but one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water, which signifies the thermometric liquid, and we named the Christ to be the blood and water thermometer. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today on temperature measurement, specifically the thermometer as a measuring instrument by introduction. Do check back for another interesting episode on the thermometric substance. Do not miss out. Connect to our social media handles at PhysicsBible, the TRiUNE Physics, for latest update. Thanks for joining us. Stay equipped, stay liquid.